Okay, now we're going to look at the median. So the median is the middle data value. So if the data set contains an odd number of data values, then the median is the data value directly in the middle of that data set. If the data set contains an even number of data values, then the median is the mean of the two middle data values. So we're going to do an example of each of those. Okay, so the first one we have a data set. I don't know what these numbers are. They could be heights of people. They could be test scores. I'm not sure. To be honest, I made the numbers up. So we have an odd number of data values here. So we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 data values, which is an odd number. So to calculate the median, the first thing I want to do is I want to make sure that my data is in order. Okay, so 64, 65, 66, 68, 70, 71, 73. So these are already in order, so I don't have to worry about that. If this data was not in order, if it was all jumbled up and random, I have to put it in order first. Okay, if I don't put it in order first, when I go to find the middle, I'm not actually going to find the middle. So I have my data numbers here. So now I'm going to find the middle value. There are two different ways you can do it. If you have a small data set like this, you can go ahead and find the middle by crossing out one from each side until you're left with just one number. Okay, and it's randomly reformatting things. So this is the middle number, which we call the median. And we don't really have a symbol for the median. You could shorthand it to MED if you want, but it's not like the mean where we had a symbol for it. Now this is great if you have a small data set like this with only 7. But what if we had 71 data values? Okay, what if we had 71 data values? Well, then we could find the middle data value by taking our sample size plus 1 and dividing it by 2. And that would tell us where that middle number is. Okay, so this tells us where the middle number is. So then we're able to go through and find that middle number a whole lot easier. Okay, so if we had 71 numbers, the middle number would be 71 plus 1 over 2. So that would be 72 over 2, which is 36. So it would be the 36th number. It's not the number 36, it would be the 36th number in the data set. So if we do that with this data set here with only 7 numbers, if I do 7 plus 1 divided by 2, so I have 7 data values plus 1 over 2, that's 8 over 2, which is 4. So I want to go find the 4th data value. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And that 4th number, when your data is in order, is your median. So two different ways you can find the median, whether you're doing it with a really large data set or a smaller data set. So now let's look at what happens if we have an even number of data values. So we have the same data set, but now we have a 74 on the end. So now we have 8 numbers instead of 7. So again, it's a small number of data values. So I can go through and I can say, okay, I'm going to cross one out from each side like this until now I have 2 numbers left. I have 68 and 70. I can't get this down to just one number by crossing out one from each side. So the median is going to be the average or the mean of these 2 numbers. Or it's the number that's in the middle of 68 and 70. So 68 plus 70 is 138. And I added up 2 numbers. So then 138 divided by 2 is 69. 69 is in the middle of 68 and 70. So 69 is the median. Now, how would we do this if we had a much larger data set? What if we had 70 numbers? Okay, so a much larger data set where it would take way too long to actually go through and cross out one from each side. So you can do n over 2, and that tells you the first number that you're going to need to add to find that middle. And n over 2 plus 1. That's how you find where those two middle numbers are going to be. So if we do that with this data set, we had 8 numbers. So if I take 8 divided by 2, that tells me I'm looking for the fourth number. And then 8 divided by 2 plus 1 is the fifth number. So I need to find the fourth and the fifth number and find the average of those two numbers. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So again, we come up with the data values 68 and 70, which were the fourth and fifth numbers because we had an even number of data values, and we could add those two numbers together and come up with a median of 69. And that is the median.